Hey everybody, it's Rick. So it's been a while since I did a video last. It's November, so excuse my facial hair. We're doing a No Shave November deal at work for charity, and so I don't know how I feel about it yet. But today I've been asked by several people that have been watching, looking for my vlogs. I haven't done one in a little bit, and they've been asking me about where they are. And so I decided to put one out. The reason why it took so long is because I'm looking for topic material, trying to figure out something that I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of topics that were out there that I thought about, but I just was like, I didn't know if I wanted to do a vlog about it yet. But one of the things that was popular recently, where people wanted to or asking me about it, is again on this thing about dating. And I for the ladies out there that watch this vlog, which is something that surprised me, that there was that many women that watched the vlog, because it's called Dad with the Vlog and single dad stuff. So I wasn't expecting to have a female audience necessarily, but most of my feedback comes from women. So I wanted to kind of touch on the topic of dating single dads versus dating single moms. And there's a few things that I've experienced here in the dating world, and a couple of things that I've come across. Let's talk about dads first. I mean, let's talk about men, and we'll get to ladies now. Women, let's just put it out there. Men are men. There's men are women out there. What I found, have come across in dating, that there's a reason why they were divorced, and the vast overwhelming majority of divorces are initiated by the woman. And for a lot of times, that's for good reason. So, in the scheme of things, there is the husband that was emotionally unstable or angry all the time, maybe abusive or controlling. Obviously, that's rough. There's also women that divorce their husbands because of addiction, controlled substance stuff. Then there's the cheaters, obviously, or even the porn addiction stuff. There is the emotionally unavailable man, inattentive, and then there's mental illness and depression. And then I'm not saying all men are like this or anything like that, but there are a lot of reasons why women choose to initiate a divorce. Sometimes it's just because the woman is no longer in love with the person. What I ask women to do, when they're dealing with men, don't mistake a little bit of irreverence or immaturity for the guy being an idiot or whatever. Bottom line is, all men are. I mean, at some point, boys are boys, and we don't necessarily ever grow up. A lot of times, we still laugh at things that are irreverent. We are not necessarily always going to be the person that takes everything serious all the time. We're gonna find things to laugh at that you don't think are funny. Guys still, in the workplace are still gonna. You get men together with the testosterone or doing whatever. They're gonna laugh at each other for silly things like farting and burping and and just stuff. I mean, that's just what guys do. So don't mistake that for him not meeting your standards. Because if that's your standard, you're never going to find a man ever that's going to meet your standard. You're going to find a dull, boring idiot that's just to sit there and just be a wet dish rag. If that's what you're looking for, a wet dish rag that you can just boss around and control and do that, you're fine. You're not going to be happy with them, but that's the deal. Because let's face it, what you really want in a relationship, women, is you want a good guy, somebody that's going to treat you well, love you, take care of you, do all those types of things, and have some responsibility and be responsible, be able to hold down a job, be able to take care of kids, be able to pay their bills, do that type of stuff. You want a guy that's like that. Good guy, nice guy, responsible, but you also want a guy that's got a tiny bit of edge around him. And if you think that you're going to, a lot of women think that they want to get out there and they hook up with what they call the bad boy. And that's the reason why these divorces happen so much, because you can fix him, right? You can fix the bad boy. You can't fix the bad boy. Bad boy's going to be a bad boy douchebag for the rest of his life. Not going to fix that guy. What you want is the good guy that's responsible, that takes care of his business, that doesn't go to jail, doesn't abuse you, doesn't do all that type of stuff, and also on the one end is still a little bit edgy. Will defend you. Will stand up and punch a guy in the mouth for groping your butt or doing something like that. You want that kind of guy. That's the guy you want. You don't want the dish rag that shrivels up under that kind of pressure or whatever. So face what you want. And if you want that guy's going to be a little irreverent. All right. So don't mistake that for something you have to polish out of a guy, because you're not going to. Guys are only thing that you're going to do is make the guy miserable, because guys like to be boys, and if you don't allow the guys to be boys every once in a while or often enough, they're going to get bored with you, because they're gonna be unhappy. They're gonna be in a situation where they feel like they're kind of being oppressed in the marriage, that everything is your way or the highway. That's not going to work for a guy that you're looking for. So let's just face it, this is what you're looking for. On one spectrum, over here, you want good guy. On this side, you have bad guy. All right, somewhere in the middle, right here, is that good guy that also has that little tiny bit of boy in him still, that edge. He's still going to pay his bills. He's going to have a job. He understands what being responsible is. He's not going to abuse you or cheat on you or have an addiction or anything like that. However, when he's hanging around with the boys, he might have a potty mouth. He might laugh at irreverent, stupid jokes. He might like to watch a stupid show like South Park or something like that. Well, guess what? That's the things that you're going to have to tolerate as a woman if you want to find a guy that, one, doesn't bore the hell out of you, and two, is still going to be responsible. Okay? So that's what you're looking for. Men, on the other hand, we run into women that have, because of the fact that they were always looking for a bad boy when they first got married, that they got attracted to that person that they want to fix up. We run into this, where now you've been scarred because you came out of a bad relationship, abusive relationship, and an addicted person's relationship. You came out of a very bad circumstance, and now all men are branded. And so it's going to take you a long time to trust somebody again. And that's where even the littlest thing that a guy does that is even irreverent at all or silly or something of that nature scares the crap out of you. If a guy looks in there and he thinks, oh, wow, Charlize Theron is really hot and sexy. Oh my goodness, my husband had a porn addiction. My last husband had a porn addiction, so this guy must be bad because he's dating me, but he thinks Charlize Theron's hot. Well, no, they're just a dude. And dudes think that women that look good are hot. I mean, this is plain. And don't deny the fact that you, in your head, look at guys like Ryan Gosling and men like that or whatever, and then go, oh wow, he's hot, when you're dating or you have a husband or something like that. Don't be ridiculous. Okay, don't be a double standard hypocrite. That's not going to work for a guy. Okay, but the number one thing that I seem to run into, and I'm giving the women advice here right now. And guys, this is what I'm telling you though. Before I go on to giving women advice, is don't be a d-bag. All right. I know that men's forte are not texting. Texting's not our forte. Talking on the phone, doing all that kind of stuff. But guess what? Women need the attention. So give them some attention. Give them enough attention. Don't put minimal investment into what you're trying to do here. Creating a relationship. If you're just minimally keeping the person on the hook, so that they can keeping that woman on the hook, so that you can kind of date around or do whatever, and so that's not fair to her. Don't do that. Okay, so don't. Let's move on to what I'm talking about. Guys, we run into women. The first thing that they say, what I've experienced out of their mouth that have been divorced, is, "I don't need a man right now to be happy." Really? Then why are you dating? Then why are you dating? Just stay lonely. Just stay strong, independent woman. Right? No. Because that's not the way it's meant to be. All right? It's not natural. You want to be in a relationship. You want to have a man. You want to have that closeness. You want to feel that emotional bond with somebody. So don't say that to guys. Because basically what you're telling the guy that you're dating, or the guy that you're going out with right there, when you tell him that, you're saying, unless you're absolutely perfect, exactly what I want you to do in every single aspect of what I need, I don't need you. And a guy don't want that. He does not want it. He wants to be him, because he just got out of a relationship where that was the case. And so he doesn't need another woman telling him that you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that, or you don't measure up to my standard. That's not what we want. Okay? Be careful out there. There's guys out there that are manipulative or whatever, but in most cases, guys just want to find a woman that they can be themselves with. And they don't have to worry about, oh, you don't measure up to my standard. And so you have to either change or the relationship is in trouble. Then there shouldn't have been a relationship in the first place. Don't marry a guy. When you married that or first husband that you married, or the second, or whatever it was, you knew what you were getting when you got into it. And you thought you could fix him. So if you're going into your next relationship thinking the same thing, you're just screwing that relationship up too. Guys don't want to be fixed. We're not defective. We're not broken. We are exactly what we are. We are dudes. And most of us that are dating right now, I'm not saying all of us, there's a lot of guys out there abusive and controlling and all that kind of stuff. Be careful with those guys. All right? I'm not telling you that. What I'm saying, though, is date somebody long enough that you can figure out if he's that kind of dude. All right? But just because a guy is a little bit irreverent, a guy laughs at, stupid, politically incorrect joke or does something of that nature, does not make him a bad guy. It makes him a little edgy. Does he have a job? Does he pay the bills? Does he love the kids? Do the kids love him? Does he love you? Is he taking care of you? Is he doing anything to control you? I had one woman that I was dating, and she would say she got out of a controlling relationship, right? And so I went extra hard into, making a date with her, planning, what do you like to eat? Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. But I know, what do you prefer? Oh, just whatever you want. Okay. That's fine. I understand that probably that came out of your relationship with a controlling person. But the thing that makes it hard on a guy like me is that I don't want to be controlling. So I want to show you that I'm not, and you're putting all of the control back into my hands. So when I pick someplace, then you're not happy. Then I'll say, yeah, and he's the same as my ex. No, it's not what we want to do. So next, what I want to talk about is the issue of the children. I mean, I've talked about this in a previous video a vlog that I put out there called "The Realities of Dating," about dating a single mom. I talked to the guys about realizing that we come second to the children, of course. All right, but this is the thing: if you make it so hard for us, so hard, your life is so busy and so difficult that you can't figure out a time to even talk to us regularly or do something like that, then we don't have time for you. Period. You make yourself unavailable because you're children, then you're not ready to date. So there has to be some balance in your life where if you're wanting to date, then you need to make some balance happen in your life to where you make yourself available to the guy. Because we don't, even though we want to understand, like me, I want to understand that you have, your children are your priority, obviously. I mean, they have to be. But we don't want to feel like we are just an afterthought. Then don't date. Stay and take care of your children. Because basically what you're doing when you date and then you don't give the guy any opportunity to actually take you out, do any of those, because you're so busy you can't even talk a lot of times because you got homework or this or that or whatever's going on, then the bottom line, it lets the guy know that you are too busy for him. We don't, we're making an effort to try to date you. We're making the effort to show you that we're willing to accept you and your children. Then give us the time of day. It's easy. If you make yourself so unavailable that you're not easy to take out on a date because we got to wait 3 weeks or do something, and you're taking classes on top of whatever it is, you're working full time, taking classes, raising 6 kids or whatever it is, doesn't matter. All right, that you can't focus a little bit on the guy that you're dating, then don't date. You're never going to get a relationship out of that. The only guy that you're going to get out of that is a dish rag, or if you're hot or whatever, you're going to get the guy that wants one thing on his mind. He's going to want to get in your pants and get out. You're just another conquest for that guy. But a serious guy that's looking for a relationship like me and probably a majority of guys like me out there, give us a time of day and let us try to develop a relationship. You can't develop a relationship if you put us completely on the back burner all the time. Advice. 2, don't be a mean girl. You ever seen that movie, Mean Girls, The Heathers? There are women like that out there. That they are so... And guys, I'm warning you this. This is the woman, when you look on their Facebook page, they might have kids, but the only thing you see pictures of are selfies. So if you see and you go to their picture page and there's like 100 Facebook page, there's like 100 pictures of them that they posted on there. 95 of them are selfies, and hardly any of them have their kids in there with them. That's a sign to run, because all they want, and then look at who's commenting on that. Then just read the comments under the pictures. You'll have some of her close friends that say, "Oh, you're so gorgeous," and stuff like that. But then look at what the dudes. They're all dudes. That means she's out there. She just wants to be complimented, man. She's not into you necessarily. She's just into your compliment. She just wants you to say how pretty she is and how great she looks and how all this. She's not ready to be in a relationship. This woman has very low self-esteem. She knows that she is getting attention from these selfies because she can make herself look pretty and do all that kind of stuff. But she has come out of some sort of relationship where her self-esteem has been destroyed or something, and she's not ready to date. What she is ready to do is, well, she's ready to go out on a date and have you go buy dinner for her, and she's ready for you to go take her out to a show or do something of that nature or whatever. She's ready for that, okay, but she's not ready for a relationship. Avoid that woman, because now the woman that you look at, there's a balance, because you look at the women that the only pictures that you see on there are of their kids and stuff like that. That is probably the woman that you want to date. However, you got to find that woman that is ready to date, and not just completely so involved in only her kids that she's not ready to show you any time. So the message that I'm giving here is there's a balance there. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with women that are taking selfies. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Because I'm going to get a bunch of hate mail about, what's wrong with selfie? You're being a real sexist. Dudes are that same way. If you see a dude up there and on his picture page and stuff like that, he's got a bunch of selfies of him at the beach with the shirt off, and he's on his boat with the shirt off, or you get a bunch of gym pics. That dude's a douche bag. Avoid him, ladies. Okay? Avoid him. All right? What I'm saying is, yeah, it's okay to have a selfie on there. Okay? I'm not normally somebody that likes to take a lot of selfies and stuff, and I've gotten, when I've dated a girl or something, hey, can you send me a selfie or something like that so I can, you know what? I hate them, but on occasion I've taken them and I've sent one just for them. And it's not something I post all over the place or whatever, but guys don't want to have a woman that is so self-absorbed that the only thing that she's looking at is selfies. Men, if you got that woman on and you look at her Facebook page and pretty much everything is her, that's a bad juju. Okay, you want somebody with some balance that shows, she's done her fun stuff. It's the other one that's on there is the world traveler. She's got all these pictures of her in all these exotic places around the country or the world or whatever to show you how awesome she is or do whatever. Yeah, avoid her too. Why? Because she doesn't care. She's living a lifestyle you can't keep up with. Because you got a job. You got your own kids to take care of. Okay? You can't keep up with the girl that wants to travel to Italy and France and Hawaii all the time. You can't do that because you're a man and you have responsibilities. Right? That woman, let her just date. She can just go out with a guy here and there, do whatever. That's not relationship girl. Okay? Maybe someday for you, when you're retired or whatever and you have more time on your hands. Maybe if you're a millionaire. Whatever. I'm talking about this vlog is not for millionaires. This vlog is for dudes, regular old working Joes like me. Okay? So avoid that lady too. Another woman out there is the one that is so needy that give us a break. You're so needy that you're texting us, and the minute that we don't, we got things that we're doing during the day. I might not work every single day, but I have other things I'm doing. I have other errands and responsibilities I have to take care of. Plus, because I don't want to be 400 pounds, I have to work out 6 days a week. So sometimes I'm in the gym or doing whatever, and because I don't respond to your text like within 30 seconds or whatever. Don't freak out. That freaks me out. It's like, you ghosted me? What? It's like, I don't even know what the hell ghosting is. But because I didn't respond to you in 30 seconds time, all of a sudden I'm ghosting you. No, that's not going to work either. So, yeah, this video went a little bit longer, about double the time that my other videos do. Because I talked about on both sides, men and women dating. The other person to be careful about dating is the widow or the widower, and this is the plain fact. All right, you are never ever going to measure up to that first spouse that died, because they loved that person forever, and that person got cheated and they got their spouse taken away from them long before they deserve to get them taken away from them. So you can never measure up. I'm not saying don't date that person. I'm just saying, understand, if you do, that you are never, ever, ever going to measure up to that first spouse. Doesn't mean that they can't have some sort of, let's not talk about equal or stuff like that. They can love you just as intensely, but it's going to be different. And that person that died is always going to be a part of their lives. They're going to have children or whatever, that their dad died. And now here you are, trying to fill a void in their mom's life and in their life. And they may not, I mean, even divorce is bad. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to widows, that's going to be even harder. So be careful when you're doing that too. So anyways, I want to sign off now because the video's now reached about double the length that I normally do. But folks, dating is complicated when you're our age. You're in your 40s, your late 30s, or whatever, you have children. We all have things. We all have crisis where we're thinking about, baggage that we all carry, or what kind of baggages get carried into the relationship. We all have body issues where we think about, oh shoot, we don't look as good as we were when we were 20. Of course not. We're 40s. Okay. However, if you're going to date, then and you want to date something. If you don't want to date seriously, then make that clear up front, that you're not dating anybody seriously, you just want to go have fun. Okay, then a guy can determine if that's what he wants to do or not. Okay, but don't date like you can have a potential serious relationship when you're not ready. Guys, same thing. All right, don't string a lady along that's looking for a serious relationship just because you're trying to get in her pants or do something like that. That's a stupid douchebag thing to do, and you're an idiot, and you make all men look bad, and it's the reason why women have a hard time trusting men. All right, but in the same breath, men have a hard time trusting women because we don't want you to project your ex onto us. And that's what happens a lot, is that your ex was controlling, or your ex was abusive, or your ex was this or whatever. And so you project your old feelings about your ex onto us, about your trust issues. This is the deal. Trust us until we give you a reason not to trust us. And most of us will surprise the shit out of you. Have a good day.